American Voices, Unit 1 Assessment. Reading of Text, Day 2. From The Sea Wolf by Jack London. The following passage is from The Sea Wolf by Jack London. The novel begins with the collision of a ferry with another vessel. The narrator, Humphrey Van Weyden, a gentleman on the ferry, is rescued by Wolf Larsen, the Sea Wolf, captain of a passing seal-hunting schooner. The passage begins after the narrator comes up on deck and finds the crew discussing the burial at sea of a lost crew member. Read the passage, then answer the questions. The captain shrugged his shoulders. Then we'll drop him over without any palaverin, unless our clerical-looking castaway has the burial service at sea by heart. By this time, he had swung fully around and was facing me. "You're a preacher, aren't you?" he asked. The hunters, there were 6 of them, to a man, turned and regarded me. I was painfully aware of my likeness to a scarecrow. A laugh went up at my appearance, a laugh that was not lessened or softened by the dead man stretched and grinning on the deck before us. A laugh that was as rough and harsh and frank as the sea itself. That arose out of coarse feelings and blunted sensibilities, from natures that knew neither courtesy nor gentleness. I told the Sea Wolf that, unhappily for the burial service, I was not a preacher, when he sharply demanded, "What do you do for a living?" I confess, I had never had such a question asked me before, nor had I ever canvassed it. I was quite taken aback, and before I could find myself, had sillily stammered, I am a gentleman." His lip curled in a swift sneer. I have worked. I do work," I cried impetuously, as though he were my judge and I required vindication. And at the same time very much aware of my errant idiocy in discussing the subject at all. "For your living?" There was something so imperative and masterful about him that I was quite beside myself. Rattled, as Furuseth would have termed it, like a quaking child before a stern schoolmaster. "Who feeds you?" was his next question. "I have an income," I answered stoutly. And could have bitten my tongue the next instant. All of which, you will pardon my observing, has nothing whatsoever to do with what I wish to see you about. But he disregarded my protest. "Who earned it, eh? I thought so. Your father. You stand on dead men's legs. You've never had any of your own. You couldn't walk alone between 2 sunrises and hustle the meat for your belly for 3 meals. Let me see your hand." His tremendous dormant strength must have stirred swiftly and accurately, or I must have slept for a moment. For before I knew it, he had stepped 2 paces forward, gripped my right hand in his, and held it up for inspection. I tried to withdraw it, but his fingers tightened without visible effort till I thought mine would be crushed. It is hard to maintain one's dignity under such circumstances. I could not squirm or struggle like a schoolboy. Nor could I attack such a creature who had but to twist my arm to break it. Nothing remained but to stand still and accept the indignity. Wolf Larsen dropped my hand with a flirt of disdain.